A very good evening, and I hope you're having a lovely Friday. My name is Sarah Otieno, and thank you so much for making time for This Is the Day. We're live on Family TV, also live on Family Radio. The WhatsApp number that you can use to always contact us from is 0786 316 316, SMS line 20316, on Facebook and Twitter at Family Radio 316. And well, today I have some good news. We have a guest host. His name is Fred Njeri. Karibu sana to This Is the Day.
Thank you very much, Sarah. It's been a long while.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's been a long while since I last did this, but yeah.
Yeah, we are grateful to God. So what do we have today, Fred?
Well, we're going to look at a couple of things that are happening in this country because there's a proposal that is being made by the churches to the government to have the church doors open so that members can go in. You know what happened after the COVID outbreak. So we'll be looking at that and the effects of the same. Plus, Sunday is Mother's Day.
Oh, yes.
And I can tell you right now, I appreciate my mother more than I ever appreciated her because I am going through the same things I put her through with my kids. So now I really, so now I really appreciate my mother, and we have some very interesting things that we'll be doing for mothers around the country.
All right. That is coming up shortly, but I will tell you about these areas. And if you live along Wayaki Way, Naivasha Road, Kangemi, Lavington, Westlands, around Parklands, and different parts of Nairobi, basically along Langata Road, Madaraka, and different parts, kuna Kitusuri Estate along Peponi, and even watu wa Muthaiga and Muthiga. Your taps might be dry by now because the Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company has today shut down water production at Sasumui Dam Treatment Works, which supply over 11.6% of water to the Nairobi City County population. Now, this move was targeted by a massive landslide in the Karemuni River inside the Aberdare Rangers Forest, which damaged the water transmission pipeline from Sasumui Dam all the way to Nairobi and cutting the supply of water in the major cities across Nairobi City. Now, Fred, back to you about the churches. What's happening?
Well, before the churches, I'm so glad that I don't live. Okay, I'm being selfish here. I'm so glad that I don't live around that area because it would give me a lot of problem with my wife. Every time I leave the office and I get home, the first thing my wife tells me is go to the bathroom because I have to go and change, get it, because my daughters call Corona Corner. So they tell me, Dad, don't bring Corona into the house.
So you have to shower.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, this is what is happening. Major church organizations in the country are currently in the process of writing a petition to the government to allow them to open doors to members, but in a controlled manner. The proposal that enjoys a lot of support from pastors seeks to have the government set guidelines for the back to church setup, just like it did for the hotels and restaurants. However, a section of pastors are reluctant, saying that the move could spell doom, giving incidents in Italy and France where church members died after contracting the disease during the church services. Well, this is also happening in the States, where a church in Kentucky has filed a lawsuit in a federal court against the government, saying that their rights, constitutional rights, have been contravened by the government by shutting down and stopping members from going to church. Now, earlier on, I had a chat with one of our local pastors because I wanted to find out exactly what they feel and what he thinks about what is happening in the country. And when I asked Pastor Ephantus, or rather, I started off by asking Pastor Ephantus, what do you think? Do you support this? And this is what he had to say.
I would say it 100%. But looking at the way things are being done, whether you're looking at the way of operations are happening in the supermarkets, whether you're looking at the way operations are happening, even now the proposal by government to open the restaurants, I think also we should consider a way we should open up the church doors, probably put a few more protocols, because you would appreciate that it is possible, or it is better for people who are born again and people who are going to church to be a bit sober in observing these protocols than people that are drunk and people that are going to restaurants to just drink beer. it will be very hard for them to be sober to observe those protocols after they have already drunk. And we know that they are not observing. So I would support that we open up the church doors, but again with a bit stricter protocols, so we can have probably larger, more services, so that we have fewer people putting on the social distance and calling on God. Because it is very important for us as a church and as a people to be given the opportunity to call on God. Because at the end of the day, our hope is in our calling on God. So I would support 100%.
Yes.
So long as there are protocols that we observe.
Pastor Ephantus, yeah. I look at the situation, the way Kenyans are behaving right now, because these are the very same people who will be coming to the churches. We are very indisciplined in as far as ensuring that we enforce the measures that have been we adhere to the measures that have been proposed and put forth by the government. Now I don't know how is the church going to ensure that the same people who are not keeping the same measures out here are going to keep it in there?
You see, I think when you go to the banking halls, people are observing those measures because there is a bit of control in the way it's being done by, again, the leaders that are being done. And I think if we held the leaders accountable, so that just like the way we are holding the leaders of the owners of the bars and the restaurants accountable, we can hold the lead pastors of certain organizations accountable, so that they are the people that will make sure there is strict adherence to the law. But that said, my point, and I mentioned it when I began, my point is the people that are going to church, no matter the indiscipline of the Kenyan people, the people that are going to church are more sober in their approach. And I think there will be a bit of order in the house of God, more than it is happening on the streets. But it is a very dangerous position for us as a people to open up every other sector of the economy, and the only place that we close in is church. Remember that everything, we as a people who are born again, we believe that life is run from the spiritual side. If we are spiritual people, and if we are going to win any battle in the physical, we must win that battle first in the spiritual. And Scripture says that if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, I will hear them from heaven. And so we know that our hope does not come from the east, it does not come from the west. You remember our president saying the other day that science needs God, and that is very true. Even science, the people that are working in the front line of this battle, the people that are researching to get the vaccines and the medicine, and even this thing can just die off miraculously. So I think it's important for us to be to just be a bit strict on the churches, but to allow, and we can say that congregation, if you have a space for 1,000 people who are packed back to back, then you can have 200 people coming in, so that there is enough space for that. You better have more services in a day or in a week or something like that. But we just need to make sure and insist that people follow those protocols if we are going to do that. But I support 100%.
My concern, Pastor Ephantus, is we, as a country, we say we are 80% Christian. And yes, when we open up, if the proposal that is being put forth by the church organization actually is given a nod, yes, this 80% is still the 80% that is not keeping or adhering to the measures out there. My fear is we might turn the church sanctuary into an epicenter of some sort. The same thing that happened in Italy, I think it also happened in France. Do we have the mechanisms within the church structure as it is right now to ensure that people maintain the safe distances that they need to maintain, and we are not doing what we are not supposed to do?
I think the statistics of we being 80% Christian needs to be, it can be argued. I think we are generally, people that ascribe to the Christian faith, we are 80%, but people that go to church could be a lesser figure than that, probably not even more than 50% or something like that. And then if you go to people that are born again, then you bring it down and lower. But that is not the point. The point here is, if these people, why should we consider church being a high risk and not consider the supermarket and not consider the matatus. If you go to town today, you will find that business is running on as normal. And if people are risking in every other area of their life, why then, even if we were to risk, why don't we even risk with the seeking of God? Because again, I think there are people that genuinely, people that are born again, they believe in the power of God, they believe in who they are as a church and as a people. I think there are people that genuinely need to come together where 2 or 3 are gathered so that they can bring down the power of God.
All
we
right.
need to remember what Scripture says. Yeah, we need to remember what Scripture says, that wherever you are, whatever thing you'll agree on earth, we just need to just create that environment as few as we can allow. You see, we can just put the figure and say, not more than this, not more than this, depending with the capacity of the space that you're going to meet in. So we can restrict them. Because again, if we open it up, then we can have people praying in on Monday, we have others praying in on Tuesday, having others praying in on Wednesday, have others praying in on Thursday and such. You remember when the president announced the National Prayers Day, they met, and it was a large number of people. They met and prayed, and they all had the protocols put in place. And so I agree that we are an indisciplined lot, especially the Kenyan people. But again, we cannot just say now we throw prayers out of the window, and yet we are opening other spaces for intervention.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Pastor Ephantus. We're going to see how this is going to play out.
I appreciate. I hope it will have a very positive consideration. But again, we need very strict measures so that we are able to make sure that we, again, are not the ones being blamed for the infections or the viral going of the virus. But again, we need just to be careful as a church again so that it is not blamed on us.
Okay.
But if they're taking risk on the other places, they can also take risk with church.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Pastor Ephantus.
Thank you.
Well, it's a very dicey situation, I must say. Very, very dicey. Sarah, I don't know if the proposal was given a note by the government and you were told go back to church on Sunday, this coming Sunday, would you?
I would not immediately, because I want to go with what Pastor Ephantus was saying. The Bible says that where 2 or 3 are gathered, it doesn't matter whether it's in a church or in a house. His presence is always there. So we do not have to put ourselves in jeopardy just to be in church and worship the Lord. I feel like we can still do it at home for now.
Yes.
For now, I wouldn't go back to church.
All right. I don't know. This is one thing that is a very dicey and very emotional thing. I don't know. Maybe there are quite a number of people who would go to church.
And maybe you can send in your SMSs, your feelings. Would you go back to church if the government gave this petition and proposal a nod? The WhatsApp number to use is 0786 316 316, SMS line 20316. Also on Facebook and Twitter at Family Radio 316, and let us get to know what you think about this. Now we look at some of the responses that you have sent in. And Humphrey, thank you so much for tuning in today. You're saying that it is prudent not to meet for now. Church is not a building, it is the body. And I like that response, Fred.
Yeah, true.
Humphrey is saying it's not a building, it's the body.
Very, very true. What he says makes a lot of sense.
All right. We also have Dennis from Juja who is saying, church is a dangerous place right now. With the warmth of fellowship, other informal gatherings would resume after church. Church is not the 2-hour service. The service without after church is dry. Hence, I would go not because of prayers. I pray every day, but because of brethren, as would many. Well, thank you so much for your response. We also have David from Nkoroi, and you're saying, I would go to church when the government reopens them because I'll be in the line with the authority and God's word. As it would stand now, it's only the government's directive that holds me back because it is godly to obey the authorities of the land. Very important point there.
You know, Sarah, I know of a church in Toulouse that is, I think, in France.
Yeah.
Immediately after the government announced, that the French government announced some of these measures, this particular pastor of this church basically disobeyed in one way or the other and had a congregation, people met and all that. And from what I was being told yesterday, so far around 20 members of that church are dead.
Yes.
And so, it's as I said, it's a very dicey situation. I don't know whether I would go to church. I don't want to sound so unspiritual, but I think I'll sit at home and watch it via online.
All right. We also have Michael from Lower Kabete. Thank you so much for tuning in today and for your response. We have this. You did not tell me your name. Kindly tell me your name and SMS me with your name so that we can know whom we are talking to. But you're saying, hello, Sarah, long time. It's been my hope you're doing well. I don't think we have to return back to church this soon for our own health safety. And more so, there is nothing to blame the government on that. The best thing is that even in our houses, we can still pray and worship God and He will hear us. Vincent Mulinge, asante sana for tuning in all the way from Thika. And we have Lynette from Nairobi. You're saying on the issue of water, we are experiencing the water shortage from last week in Maradaima area. And let them just work with 1 week because, hey, watu wasiumie. Thank you so much, Lynette and George from Naivasha pia nakuona. You are of the opinion that we can for some while avoid gathering in the churches and let them stay closed for a while. This is why the people we have been disobeying the guidelines while doing the activities are the same people who are going to meet at churches, and the extent of disobedience will be higher because of the churches. We have families and friends. These interactions have the potential of increasing the spread. I totally agree with George.
Very, very true, Sarah. And take into consideration, like we said, we're going to be dealing with on Sunday, we'll be celebrating our mothers. I can tell you one thing, for some time now, I haven't gone to see her because I talked to her over the phone and all that. Because I'm afraid or I'm concerned, she's in her 70s. So one of the things, I love her so much and my dad, and I have to do everything to protect them so that this Sunday I can have a very good time to celebrate them.
Yes. And you'd be wondering why we are saying on Sunday. Sunday is Mother's Day. And this is a celebration for motherhood. And it is a day to make an extra special effort to recognize and appreciate mothers' roles in our lives. Often this day is extended to generous of mothers and also their generations, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, stepmothers as well, all the mother figures in your life. This is a day to celebrate them. So we reached out to you and asked you what message, that special message that you would have for your mother this coming Sunday. And this is what you had to say.
Day to all the moms around the world, and most importantly, happy Mother's Day to you, Mom. You're the most precious treasure anyone could ever ask for. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I love you from here to the moon and back. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Okay, how are you, everybody? My name is Jeffrey Victor Bonyo, and to all the mothers out there, I'd like to wish you a happy Mother's Day for Wamama Ploti, Wamama Mothers Union, Ladies Fellowship, and landladies as well. I'd like to wish you all a happy Mother's Day, and to my mom, of course, Mom Celine Onyango. Happy Mother's Day, and may God bless you for all that you have done and to making us who we are. God surely should bless you. Happy Mother's Day.
Hello, my name is Kim, and I want to dedicate a special message to my mom. She's in Embu. Mom, I want to take this chance to wish you a happy Mother's Day. I do appreciate you. You've been there from the beginning since I was conceived, and I don't take that for granted. You've walked with me through thick and thin. As your son, I appreciate you, and may the good Lord continue to bless you. May He grant you good health and a long life too. Thank you so much. Bye.
Our mothers have always shown us true love without limits. We want you to know just how blessed we are to have you. You are the greatest gift that we could ever ask for. Thank you for reminding us what's important in life, and today it's you. You will always stand by us even if the whole world falls apart. And for that, we wish you a happy Mother's Day.
Sweet mother, I'll never forget. What's up? Yeah, I'm Safiden Absalom, the one and only photographer in Kenya, currently in my home county. Okay, I want to celebrate my mom, because of you. Nimetoka mbali, nimetoka from nowhere to somewhere. Because of you, singekuwa photographer. I wish you well. As today we are celebrating Mother's Day, I'm celebrating you. You are one of my hero. I salute you. Love you, Mom.
Hi, this is Calvin from Ongata Rongai, sending this message to my mom and all the mothers out there. You know, moms are the best. They are always there for us. They take a lot of steps. They do much for us. So what we need to do is just tell them that we love them and cherish them, and we'll always be there for them. They've always been there for us. So it's a simple math to do the equivalent and be there for them. So to my mom, wherever she is, she'll watch this, she'll listen to this message. I want to tell her that I love her very much and I cherish her a lot. You are a blessing into my life. You've always told me what to do and what not to do, the right and the wrong. When I go a step astray, it's Mom who's always been there for me. I love you very much and thank you for bringing up a son as I am. I'm soon becoming a man, you know. Thank you. Love you, Mom.
Hello, my name is Whitney, and I want to wish my mother a happy Mother's Day because she is one of a kind. She has been through a lot just to make us comfortable, and I'm doing this on behalf of my other sisters. I just want her to know we love her so much. My mother's name is Zura Yasmin Han, and I just want to say happy Mother's Day to you, Mama. We love you.
Hi, you ever heard of Proverbs 31 woman? That's my mama. I want to wish her a very happy Mother's Day. She's the best thing that ever happened to us. She stood by us in everything. She's been so prayerful since our dad passed on some years back when we were still very young. As 5 kids, she's seen us through education. And above all, our prayers are so powerful. Mama, I just want to be like you. You're the very best thing that ever happened to us. We're only praying to God. May God bless you. May God keep you. And we'll always be there for you, Mama. We love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to my mom and to every other mom in the world. I am personally grateful for the love and support my mom has shown me, the advice and every need I've had. She has been my go-to person, and I am grateful. Today I celebrate my mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you.
You know, most of us go absolutely crazy every time we have to do anything special for our mom, because I remember Sarah some time back, and I think that's the time I started to really treasure my parents, because, and I'm saying about me, maybe I wasn't treasuring as much. I took them for granted because I thought they will always be here. You know, to me, my mom and my dad were all superhumans. You just believe they will be around until one day I met a friend of mine and we were celebrating, I don't know whether it was Father's Day or Mother's Day, and he told me, Fred, you still have your parents around, treasure them, because there's coming a time, because of their age, you don't know whether you will have them, and you do now the things that you would wish. Once they're gone, when you remember, you can put a smile on your face and say, I honored my parents very well. So this is a very special moment as we celebrate our mothers. Our mothers made us who we are today. Like today, I can tell you, I know, I can almost tell you what's happening in my dad's or my mom's home. In this sense, I know Mom is the one who's telling Dad, just like my wife tells me, you come into the house, where to go. to go. It's Mom who's making sure that Dad is well sanitized, eats well, and all that. She does this as though she takes care of other people, and that's the reason why mothers are so special. They take care of other people. We enjoy being taken care of. They're very special.
All right, but there are some challenges that come with this.
True.
Motherhood comes with some challenges, and that is what we will be talking to Anna Anyango about. And she is a Kenyan activist for peace and for women, and she joins us right now. And thank you so much for making time for This Is the Day this evening. And I would just want us to discuss about some of the challenges that women face. And even you as a mother, what do you face, especially in motherhood?
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, as mothers, we are the managers of the home. And the challenge many, especially, the man is there, the children are there, and everyone is looking at you. So if there's nothing in the house, then you are the one to be asked whether you're working or not. So it's very challenging when you don't have what to give out to everyone. And it's also very hard to give the right thing to satisfy the needs of everyone.
Okay.
So
carry on, please.
Yeah, it's very hard to satisfy the needs of everyone. So it's really, really, really tough for the mother. And I think the best the mothers can do is just to learn to adapt and accept the situation they are in so that they're able to manage their families in a positive manner.
All right. In just a couple of days, that is on Sunday, we are celebrating Mother's Day. And I am sure that it's because of a mother that all of us are here, right? Right. So there's also another category that feel neglected for some reason because of one challenge or another, and those are the young mothers. What can you say about that?
Yeah, what I can say is that I don't think they are left behind. They are part of the conversation, and they should bring themselves into the conversation. Because at times people only think of their peers. At times we complain that we only have older people in systems and things like that. But if you don't come in and claim your space, it's very hard to notice you. So I think the young people come out and claim their space, and it should not be it should not be like they have been left behind. It should be like it's our time to come into the conversation. And I think we've been able to bridge the equality gap, which everyone is talking about today.
Oh yeah, and I like that you talked about equality. And for a long time, and we must acknowledge that right now the government and different people and organizations are coming together to ensure that there is equality, even for women and mothers. Where are we at that point when it comes to equality? Where are we at as a country?
We are not doing very well as a country because we are still channel resources to specific people. We always think about others. So I think each and every person should come out and claim their space and just make sure that they are participating and they are playing their role as expected on issues of development, just all around. As mothers, we have our grandmothers. We have so much to learn from our grandmothers. I have my mother, who is somebody else's grandmother. And then I also have my daughter who has a baby right now.
Wow, so you are a grandmother. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So, motherhood never stops. The moment it starts, it goes on forever. So we should learn to live with other generations and to learn from them. And it should not look like, we are leaving somebody behind. And I think in service provision, we have not done very well with that. So giving opportunities and access to resources, we should be able to give everyone an opportunity to access resources and to exploit the opportunities that are there effectively.
All right, and right now, let us come back to the sad situation that is in the world and in our country right now. And we have the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic, and mothers play a major role, we must say. So right now, even as we celebrate mothers, what do you think about also celebrating them as they help to curb the spread of the COVID-19?
Mothers are the heroes who are yet to be celebrated in this process because we are the caregivers. We give care whether we like it or not. It comes automatically. Whether it's from within your family or outside there, we just have to do something. We play that big role. So we should really learn to appreciate mothers. We should bring mothers into decision-making conversations so that mothers can advise us on what can work and what cannot work. We saw what happened in Kibera the other day where mothers lost their lives because they were trying to get food for their children. When a mother gets, the children will definitely get, her husband will get, the family gets. But when you're giving them to young people, then at the end of the day, the food is sold. Or, you can't get women together, a woman with her baby on her back, together with a young man who is struggling to get food. So we should give their space in this struggle. We should accept that women have a bigger role to play and they should be given the opportunity to play their role as they should play.
And you talked about story of the stampede that happened in Kibera, and I remembered of the story of the mother who had to boil stones to pretend to be cooking, the one that happened in the coastal region.
There's so much going on. There's so much going on, and then everyone is under pressure. The man is not able to provide the way he should provide. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of conflict in the home. There's shared space. People are not used to sharing space throughout. You know, because of the curfew, because of the lockdown, everyone is sharing the space, and they're not used to sharing the space. So there's a lot of conflict. So in such situations, the woman suffer most because it's the woman to arbitrate between the father and the children. She also has to answer to the man who is suffering so much. So we should recognize women, and we should give women the opportunity to just be part of this big change and celebrate them, make them feel good about the role they're playing right now.
All right, and I want to make it about you right now. And looking back in your journey of motherhood, what is that one thing that you have achieved and you are so much proud about?
First, I'm proud of moving mountains for my kids. I'm proud of getting my kids from, you know, that little small house in Kibera to where they are today. I'm proud of being a mother to more than my kids, just having so many children calling me mom.
Yes.
I'm also proud of getting other mothers to understand their role and to be able to develop that resilience, and that is keeping them going. So I'm proud of being a mother to those biological kids my God gave me.
Yes.
And I'm also proud to mother so many other people everywhere.
Wow, and you are doing an amazing job, we must say. And of course, as we are celebrating our mothers and all the mothers out there, we also celebrate you for doing a great job.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's happening everywhere. And as I mentioned before, right now I'm in the village, and I'm happy that this lockdown actually found me here, because I'm noticing so many things that are yet to be captured. I spend more time with senior women, with older women, and I'm able to learn so much. And with this, I'm starting a project. I call it Adapt a Grandma, because we are losing a lot of wisdom. We are letting them go with a lot of wisdom that we can learn from. So I'm spending a lot of time with these senior ladies, and I'm learning so much, and I'm challenging everybody to just embrace those senior ladies around them. They will learn so much, and they'll also be able to take care of them. They'll be able to give a smile to them. It is not just about money. It's about sitting with them. It's about listening to their stories. It's about making them remember their younger days, and people will just be happy. You know, and everybody is happy, the society is happy, and we excel.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Jen, for sharing with us today. And we wish you all the best even in your project. And happy Mother's Day to you and to your daughter. And now that you're a grandmother, it's really going to be an amazing day.
Thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
You know, I remember Jane Anyango. This lady, by the way, met Barack Obama when he came into the country. She's doing some amazing job when it comes to women, mostly in Kibra.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's interesting the way the word tells us, you know, you should not judge people when you know, by the way they look and that kind. If you saw her, you would actually think you would not expect her to be what she is.
But she's doing an amazing job.
Oh, yes, she is.
All right. We have Jeff of Bonyo, professor, and he's saying, Happy Mother's Day. I watched my mom struggle to raise 3 boys alone. I included after my dad passed on back then when we were kids, and raising us up to who we are right now. She really deserves the best. Mom, may God surely bless you and really love you, Mom. That is Jeff. Hey, asante sana for tuning in today, Jeff, and for your support and your kind messages to your mom. We also have Alice, and we have people texting in about the issue of churches. And Alice is saying, all the way from Machakos, I think reopening churches might make everybody assume everything is okay. Some may even just be moving up and down in the name I am too or from church, which may be risky for Kenyans. And I support that. We also have Remy Kipchirchir unasema, I do not think it's very urgent and necessary to gather in the churches at the moment. It's of high priority right now that we observe and contain the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. It's clear that as Kenyans we have failed to observe the government directives. Thus, as it stands, the virus disease is spreading so fast and we need to put measures to flatten the curve. Good evening and thank you so much for sharing your opinion. We also have Humphrey who's saying, and he says, this is now to the mom. You're saying, my message, Mom, I love you, I honor and I respect you. Asante sana, Humphrey, and your mom is surely the best. Felix from Mombasa is also saying, as for me, lazima kurudi kanisa. Oh, si lazima.
Okay.
Actually got that wrong. Si lazima kurudi church. Me and my parents, we do our services in the house, and
Oh, that's
najua
nice.
God anatusikia.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. I like that. As in, people are doing services at home. That's pretty interesting, I must say.
All right.
Okay. Basically, the $1 million question is this: if you're wondering what people are talking about, we asked the question because there's a proposal that has been put forth by the churches to the government to have to reopen the churches so that people can be able to assemble every Sunday.
Yep.
And we wanted to find out if the government gave the nod and the churches were opened on Sunday, would you go to church? Would you go to church? That's $1 million question. Now, the SMS is 20316 or 0786 316 316. And, you know, quite a number of people asking, what happened to the COVID stories? It's not, we decided to do it differently today. Not that we don't think that the COVID stories are important, just to know, you know, the number of people who've been infected, and how the country is doing in the fight against this deadly virus. But we decided that let's do it differently. And CAS, Dr. Rashid Aman, today said that an 11-month-old baby, the youngest person to test positive for the coronavirus out of the 924 samples that were tested in the last 24 hours. 14 people have tested positive, and the total so far is 621.
The ministry will continue to conduct targeted testing in high-risk areas. In the last 24 hours, we have tested 922 samples, out of which 14 have tested positive for COVID-19 disease. All 14 cases are Kenyans. This now raises the number of those who have tested positive in the country to 621. The overall number of samples that have been tested in our labs for COVID-19 so far is 29,430. Show that 10 of these positive cases are from Nairobi, 3 from Mombasa, and 1 from Machakos. In terms of age distribution, these cases, 11 cases, range from the youngest age of 11 months old baby, and a 49 years old person is the oldest case. We have 5 new discharges. This brings the total number of those who have recovered from the disease to 202.
You know, you cannot overemphasize the importance of ensuring that you protect yourself and you protect the people that you come into contact with, wearing your mask, making sure you shower, you sanitize, just like my wife tells me, because you're talking about an 11-month-old baby who's now positive. This, as 237 Kenyans landed into the country from India yesterday, together with their family members, and more are expected into the country.
I'm glad to inform you that 237 Kenyans, together with their family members and caregivers, arrived last evening and were received by staff from the Ministry of Health, who facilitated their clearance. Many of the returnees were accommodated in hotels last evening at government expense while being processed to proceed home for self-quarantine. Similar flights are expected into the country in the coming days.
You know, the saddest thing is I don't think as a people, because I come into contact with quite a number of people, Sarah, including my mechanics. I don't think we are taking this thing seriously, because most of the time when I go to my mechanic, he believes that this is just another story, another a scam
Yeah.
in the making, and they only put the mask whenever there's a presence of police around. So, and majority of people are doing that, and I don't think we are taking this as seriously as it's supposed to. Because when you think about a country that has lost close to 100,000 people, I mean, these are people dead, and it's not just figures. You're talking about somebody's mother,
Yeah.
somebody's sister, somebody's brother, somebody's dad. These are people, human beings,
Yeah.
who are walking around doing their things, doing their business, but now they're no more because of this. We need to do exactly what we are told.
All right.
Not just to protect ourselves, but to protect the people we love.
And considering that we have young children also being affected and
True.
infected,
Yeah.
11-month-old baby, that's too young. So we need to be vigilant.
True, we need to do everything. Just do whatever you need to do to take care of your people. And just remember, even if you don't care about Corona, or Rona, as my daughters call it, take care of the other people.
All right.
Just make sure you don't get infected.
Okay, and as we continue taking care of ourselves and our loved ones, on Sunday we have the Mother's Day, and we have Faith all the way from Kasarani, and is saying, please help me to wish two mothers a happy Women's Day and Mother's Day for that matter. And he's saying, my mom for bringing me into this world and raised me into a strong lady, and to my best friend's mom for bringing him into this world. She did me a big favor because he is such a blessing. That is Mama Njeri and Mama Mutuma. Asante sana for tuning in. And there is an interesting one. So earlier we carried a story about one daughter who was passing a sweet message to her mom, and now the mom texted in and they're saying, I'm Yasmin from Busia, and I love my daughters for wishing me a happy Mother's Day. I also love them so very much, and I'm always proud of them. That is a proud mama there.
Oh, you can say that again.
All right, now there is this story about a group, and we earlier talked about opening churches and whether to make sure that people go back for prayers. And someone said, praying does not only need to be done in churches. So here is a group, and this is a story of a different people, and as different people are trying to struggle and battle the spread of COVID-19. In one of the hospitals in Northern Virginia, believers now are using prayers to fight the battle of COVID-19. Let's Go Love People. That's the name of a beach group that encourages doctors, nurses, and patients by praying. They're not praying from their homes. They are praying outside the hospitals. They pray with the doctors and nurses, encourage patients, and even their family members. And this is their story.
And so we're out here in the parking lot, and the triage nurse, because the triage is out in the parking lot, you don't get to go in the hospitals anymore. The triage nurse, she kind of hollers over to me, and she says, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" And I said, "No, ma'am, we're just praying." And she throws her hands up in the air, and she says, "Well, if you're praying, keep it up." We had doctors sticking their head out of the COVID tent saying, "Hey, my name's Mike. Could you pray for me by name?" So I was just able to pray for her and come against the spirit of anxiety. It completely left. She was crying. She was thankful. We were able to minister to her in some other ways too. I speak blessing and complete and total restoration in Jesus' name to your great glory, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Really, I just want to provoke the body of Christ, normal Christians. You can do this. I'm not special. I'm not a unique anything. But the Lord lives in me, and He touches people, and He casts spirits out of people, and He heals people.
Gilbert's martial arts studio has been ordered to close due to COVID, and this is how he chose to help.
Let's go pray for people. Let's go bring the presence of God. Let's go love people.
Well, that is such encouraging news from people that have decided to come together and fight this battle, not only by the use of medicine and scientists and vaccines that we are still looking to find some for the COVID-19 pandemic, but through the strong value and weapon of prayer. And that is encouraging, right, Fred?
It is truly very encouraging, and I would love to see that happening around. If I can tell you some of the things that people are going through not just directly because they're infected by the virus, but indirectly because of the effects of the coronavirus. I can tell you, I have friends in the media right now, scores of people within different media houses. You're talking about different companies, industries and all that, who today don't even know where their next meal is going to come from. And there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of fear. People don't know exactly what's going to happen, and that's the reason why I love what they're doing, because they are caring for one another. One of the things that we need to do today, even as all this thing is going on, we need to find out what your friend is, how your friend is doing, how your neighbor is doing. You may be your next door neighbor, probably, you just don't know. Be your brother's keepers. Because I think that's the most important thing we need to do now. We need to spread love. We need to show people that we care for them. We don't just care for the money that they give. We care for them. We care for you. We care for what you're going through, and we understand. One of the questions that we had asked a few minutes ago is if the government gave a nod or agreed to the proposal by church organizations to have the doors open every Sunday for members to go in and worship, would you go to church? And Daniel Ochieng from Kitengela says, I think it would be difficult, really difficult, to go back to church unless the government has assured us that all is well. Then I will go to church with no hesitation. Now, we have one, I think you're better doing this than I am for now. There's one that says, good evening, this is the day. If told to go back to church this coming Sunday, I wouldn't be quick to go because of my safety. Again, who said we must pray in church? We could as well do it from our homes, because it's just for a short time. This dark season will pass, but opening churches right now is a big risk. Oh, she's given her name, Lisa from Kiambu. I got your text, I got your WhatsApp, and there it goes. I must say, okay.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for your message, and for everyone who has contributed to this amazing discussion that we have had today.
And by the way, we have a producer in the studio. His name is Jadiel.
Jadiel,
yeah. He's a very young guy. I'm not very sure, but Jadiel says, Jadiel, would you go to church on Sunday if the church will open? Oh, he's nodding.
Yes.
He's nodding. He would go to church on Sunday, probably because he's a young chap.
I'll be finding out a bit later why Jadiel would go to church on Sunday, considering the factors that we are considering today. But anyway, we have to wind up this, Fred.
True. Very important. You see, if there's a message that needs to be taken out at a time like now, when, as I told you, quite a number of my friends are going through difficult times, it's a message of hope. The message that Jesus cares for you. And Jesus doesn't just care in words. Jesus cares through us. I mean, we go and take care of people. That is a very important message. And you know what? That message is going out right now, even as we talk, because our partners have partnered with us to be able to do this. After this, you're going to have beautiful programs coming in with ministers like T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, ministering and speaking into the lives of people and encouraging them. I don't think there's anything as important as this as far as heaven is concerned today. I think that's so key.
All right.
Thank you very much, partners.
Thank you so much for being a partner, and also for tuning in to This Is the Day. Remember that if you want to be a partner and help us carry this message to the next level, you can always text the word partner to 20316, and surely someone will get back to you. For now, thank you so much. My name is Sarah Otieno.
And I'm Frederick Njiri. Let's do this again all over on Monday.
Have a blessed weekend.
For this and more of our shows, log on to www.familymediaonline.com to enjoy a wide variety of programs, from current affairs to testimonials and features, pastoral and inspirational shows, kids entertainment, and so much more. Also stream live on www.familymedia.tv.